series very what's the
like they burn it out.
Yeah, they really take it
To a whole nother level.
to another level. Like for some of the with Arrow went like six or seven seasons, something like that. And for me, a lot of the storylines that they brought into it, while the storylines were good, some of them were like, you could have done that in 2 seasons, like 2 or 3 seasons versus the whole 7. I'm like, y'all just dragging us out because of Arrow and y'all got good ratings. But for me, I think I am also one of those old school. I love cartoons, first off. Absolutely love cartoons all day, every day. I could watch cartoons and not sweat. And I think some of the cartoons from back in the day had good storylines to them, like Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Like those bad boys were episode. You know, they're small cartoons that you're like, oh, they're just a cartoon. But if you look through them, they had a storyline. Like they progressively got better, right? They progressively. Yeah. And they had storylines to the cartoons, and it's like, okay, I like that. Like the Avatar, The Last Airbender, one of my favorite cartoons, simply because it had a storyline that it followed to fruition. I'm just missing that last part between, that and Korra. Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Right. You have a whole life that is missing from the Katara and all that. You go right into Korra, and I'm like, no, but what happened to Aang? I know.
Where's Zuko's mom? That's a whole season. Y'all done got me messed up.
And they left a lot of unanswered questions from the end to, but yeah. So, but I like that versus some of the other series out there.
I don't know if I really have a favorite TV show. I just watch a lot of random things. I watch cartoons, but not a lot of cartoons. The only really cartoons that I watch is Tom and Jerry, like old Scooby Doo, Dexter's Laboratory, like old stuff. Okay. Not really anything new. And then work can be making me watch all this random stuff like Vampire Diaries and all that. So I watch a variety of stuff.
I don't watch TV that much anymore, only because they don't know how to make good shows now. Like the old cartoons, Tom and Jerry, Frosted Home of Imaginary Friends, all them shows, fire. Now they got all these crazy, like maybe Adventure Time and Life of Gumball. Life of Gumball, it wasn't like Frosted Home of Imaginary Friends and all that stuff, but it had a storyline where it at least flowed and there was something new and consistent. But the shows now like Ed and Eddie. Stuff like that, I miss that. Like, where's that? It was funny. It wasn't something that didn't make you feel stupid. I'm sorry, but like SpongeBob now, like they're so dumb now, and there's some jokes in there that's just like not for kids. Like they just go over their heads. You watch it back and be like, hold on, like I like Squidward. Like, why you say it like that? Like come on, like stuff like that is just not the same anymore.
Yeah,
so that's like. That's why I don't.
About the surfboard. His surfboard's so long.
So, like, bro, like, what is you talking about? Like, don't let your kids watch SpongeBob. Like, come on.
Don't do it.
Like, that stuff, it made me not enjoy watching TV that much anymore.
Gotcha.
So that's why the only thing I do watch is either YouTube or Netflix series shows, because those actually have, a character, basis, like The Punisher. That's based on a movie, and they kind of did their own spin. I'm sad that they only got 2 seasons, but it was good. Like stuff like that kind of gets my attention. Also, like we just watched The Haunting of Bly Manor, and we watched The Haunting of Hill House. That stuff kind of gets to me and also feeds into like my horror, mystery, kind of scary side. That stuff I'll get into that if there was like a TV series show. If you have any suggestions, let me know.
Drop them in the comments. What about you?
For some reason, I don't know. I'm gonna start by saying this. I do not aspire to be a doctor or anything like that.
Oh, here we go.
But for some reason, like all the doctor shows, like The Good Doctor, House, The Resident, The Night Shift.
Pimple Popper, whatever.
No, like actual doctor. Like you ever seen House?
I was about to say.
Yeah, House is great.
Like House, and then the Good Doctor is kind of like House, but like a different person.
So Grey's Anatomy.
I haven't gotten to Grey's Anatomy.
Okay, yeah.
For one, I looked at it. It was like 45 seasons, and I was like, "That's a lot. I'm a pass." So
Hard
House,
pass.
yeah, it was like House, The Resident, the Night Shift, and the Night Shift was really good because like all those guys are military, and I was like,
Right.
"Yo, I've done that before."
Mhm.
Besides the doctor part, it's pretty lit.
House fire.
Yeah, House.
Yeah.
Good Doctor's pretty good too.
Mhm.
He had a good doctor also. So I was like, all right, good stuff. So I mean, it's just something I can always watch, never get tired of. I'm rewatching like season 1 of The Good Doctor for some reason. Like, it's just like entertaining.
Isn't that the guy from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
The
No.
Good Doctor?
Motel,
The boy.
Yeah, Bates
The young
Motel.
one.
Bates Motel, the main character.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
Bates
he
Motel.
Bates Motel. I remember him when he was
Wait.
younger.
It may be him. It may be the boy from Charlie and Chocolate
Yeah, it
Factory.
is. It actually is.
It is, yeah.
It is okay.
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 Thinking back, it is same guy.
Okay.
And he has autism.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. So I was like, man, he looks familiar. That's okay. Okay. Yeah. No. So and I will have to agree with you 110%. They don't make shows like they used to.
No.
Like there aren't any like old school sitcoms. Y'all remember like the Family Matters, the
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cosby Show, even though we shouldn't probably
I
talk
like
about
Fresh
it.
Prince.
Fresh Prince of Bel Air,
Fire.
Yo,
Look.
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
Fire.
They're rebooting that now, so don't disappoint. Like,
You,
They're trying to reboot
every time we talk
everything
about these
and they mess it
reboots, every time we talk about these reboots, my just
You know how many
Jumping.
times they've rebooted Saved by the Bell?
I mean, it's-
like they did it. They did the new class. They did the college years to bring back the original cast.
Mhm.
They did after they got married or after college or something.
But those were okay.
yeah.
But right now it's like Mario Lopez went back to the school and he's like teaching or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
And
they
from
changed
the-
up
Really?
the cast and it's completely
Yeah,
different.
that's the
Like,
only
that's
one
so
I
Raven.
saw.
They made it
Oh.
where Raven's the mom now and she has kids.
Kids.
Yeah, and,
And-
they have the same ability, I think.
It just messes up
Yeah.
the show. What you thought of the show.
Now, the one reboot that I actually enjoyed, and this will definitely show my age, Boy Meets World. Right? They did
That show was fire.
Boy Meets World, absolutely one of my favorite ones growing up. They did Girl Meets World, where Corey and Topanga
Although-
got married, of course. Y'all, that's how they ended up the show. They got married, and now they have kids. And so now his daughter basically walks through her steps. And Corey's the new Feeny. Like,
Yeah.
he takes over the role of Feeny. And I'm just like, to see how that played out, I'm just like, man, that is pretty cool. They did a good job with it.
Should have done it sooner.
Huh?
Should have done it sooner.
Yes, they definitely should have done it sooner because there was an opportunity that they missed, right? Because they waited so long to do
It
it.
was that big old gap.
Yeah, it lasted for a little while, right? They even brought the whole cast back for a while.
Right.
And they were revving it up, and then Disney cut it.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, and then Freeform picked it up or something like that, supposedly. And I'm like, no, I don't want Freeform to pick it up. No, leave it.
Right.
Just let it die with Disney. Don't let Freeform do it because they gonna take it completely left, and I'm gonna be mad.
Right. Right.
That's what they do. That's what they do with some shows. They like, oh, we're just gonna farm it out to this. Like, do y'all remember The Game?
Yeah, that's a pretty good show.
So The Game was good before it went to BET.
Yeah. It
Like,
was fire.
it,
I was even watching that.
people, I'm like, I didn't realize how good it was until, of course, my wife said, "Hey, let's watch it again." Like, it was hilarious,
Mhm.
right? It had some, relationship things, and you're like, "Oh man, we want them to end up together," and they didn't end up together, and you were kind of mad, but at the same time, you understood. But then they got rid of both of them because they wanted to go live their lives. And they brought a whole nother group, and you're like, no, this is not the game.
No.
This is not the game anymore.
It ain't.
Y'all just tagged the name on it.
Yep.
They might as well have called that a reboot.
Yeah, there's a show like I vaguely remember. I can't remember the name. But
One
it
Tree
was-
Hill.
No, no. But it's like for some reason when I think about Boy Meets World, I would like go to this show. It was like the mom was an astronaut. They had one kid, but they also had an alien kid. But she looked like a human. She was just green with antennas, and it was like normal. It was just super weird. It's like I don't know why. It's like super old show. It was just like them living life.
Was
it was
he
a little,
dreaming?
it was
I
a little
don't know.
over the top.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no
Could
idea.
have been a dream.
Definitely not a dream. I know this is a real show. Yo, can y'all help me out? Yo, y'all know this show. I
What
know
did they do
someone
in the
out there
show?
knows this show. I
What-
don't know the name.
What did they do in the show?
It was just like Boy Meets World, basically. They're just like living life, going to school, coming home, dealing with stuff. A brother messing with his older sister, but she's an alien. So it's like, why are you in my room touching my stuff? Because it's cool. I don't know. Stuff like that.
I don't even, man, that sounds out of this world.
Yo, it's funny. They gave me the name of the show. Like,
Because the only thing that sounded, you had me until you said alien.
No.
But it was,
I don't know how to look it up. Like, what do I look up?
because there was a cartoon. I don't know if it was on Nick or Cartoon Network. It was the mom who was like a scientist or whatever, and she had a daughter, but the daughter was a robot.
That's Jenny. That's
yeah,
Jenny. I thought you were
My
talking
Life
about
as
that.
a Teenage Robot.
Yeah,
no,
but
but
then-
this is a real show.
but then you
though.
said,
it's
like, Alien,
It's
I
not a
was like,
cartoon. It's real.
Oh,
What?
yeah. I
It's
don't,
not a cartoon. It's
I don't know.
Sound like something you need to go create.
Yeah, if it isn't created already, you need to go create that.
Mm.
Oh man! All right, so let's see. Any of the classic TV shows or classic cartoons or something that you remember watching growing up that was like, oh,
The
I gotta
Smurfs.
stop and watch that. Go ahead.
The Smurfs.
The Smurfs. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
That was my dad's favorite show.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Mm. Okay, mine was, what's the show called? I used to come home from school. It was the boy who he always wore. Like I remember the clothes and all the dragons. The boy, I don't remember his name, but he was wearing a green shirt, and the girl, I think she was wearing a pink shirt or something like that. And there was a blue dragon. The boy always rode the blue dragon. The girl, she always rode the pink dragon. Then there was a twin dragon. Half of it was green, half of it was purple.
Dragon Tales.
Dragon Tales.
Dragon
Boy,
Tales.
if I came home and that show was not on, we having a fit. Like, that show was fire.
I used to have a little VCR of Dragon Tail.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that show, like, oh my gosh. I would love We Wish in the Land Apart. How do I remember that?
is it bad? Do I remember the song?
Like that. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, they don't make shows like that no more. Like, just to have a scale and to say that word and then you just go to a whole nother world.
Use your
Like,
imagination.
Come
Gotcha.
on.
Okay.
Y'all need to watch some Blue's Clues.
Oh yeah.
Before
yeah.
they changed the guy. What's the guy's name?
Steve.
Steve. When they changed, it was confusing. Okay. The first started off with Blue. I
Mhm.
could have sworn that was a boy dog.
Right.
It don't make no sense. After all these years, they say Blue is a girl dog. How?
And didn't they drop
How,
the,
Sway?
didn't they drop the pink one? And the pink one was a boy.
Right.
Yes, Magenta.
But Magenta's a girl.
That's a girl.
Right. Like, how do you
But
get
then
that
they dropped the pink
confused?
one, and there's like, oh, Magenta's actually a girl. I'm like,
Like,
bro,
what y'all on?
No.
are y'all trying to break boundaries here? Because y'all
No,
were definitely
no.
not.
And then they had Steve. Steve was living with Blue,
Mhm.
and then Magenta was living with the other guy.
What was his name? Oh man, there was Steve. There was who's Steve's cousin?
I just named them all Steve.
Yeah, but then he moved in with Blue and became Steve.
You sure did.
I'm like, what is this? You're not Steve.
Joe. No, it was Joe. Wasn't one of those names Joe?
Probably.
I don't know.
One was Joe, one was Steve, and then they have the new guy, the Asian guy who is on there now on Blue's Clues now, because they brought it back. They brought it
I'll
back.
watch it now.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
That was a good show. I'd watch that show every day. I had a Blue's Clues blanket. Blue's
Okay.
Clues was my show.
Okay.
Mm.
Then they started messing up, talking about Blue's a girl. It just don't make no sense. It don't make sense.
Oh man, I remember back in the day with Blue's Clues when, cause he was growing up.
Mhm.
Blue's Clues, they had Pepper and Salt, and Pepper and Salt had a baby named Pepper.
Oh, yeah,
And I was like, oh, they can do this in kids TV. They
Right.
can do this in kids TV. Oh yeah, they had a baby. And I was like, what? Oh yeah, man. I didn't know they could do that. So for me, a lot of my cartoons were so I have like 4 generations of cartoons that I watched growing up because before there was Boomerang, all of those came on early morning Saturdays, like the Yogi Bears, and those were all what was
Boomerang.
on Cartoon Network and things like that. Those were
Boomerang
primary.
was amazing.
Right, Boomerang takes you back to like the Snagglepuss and the
Flintstones.
Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jacks, and,
Snorkels,
yeah.
yo.
Snorks.
Snorkels were
Yeah,
where it's
oh
at.
man, and they were all bomb, all fire in their day, and then they came up and they're like, yeah, we're gonna do all this other stuff. And you're like, no, can we go back?
Right.
And the Nicktoons, the original Nicktoons, like Our Real Monsters and Doug, and
Yeah.
that was where it was. And then they brought SpongeBob, and people were like, no.
Yeah, like how do you just shift from having all these great shows,
Yeah.
and then now they're just bad?
Yeah.
Like who decides that? Like what dictates that? Like you were already having amazing ratings
Mhm.
up to that. What just we're gonna start a new show. Here you go.
Yeah. I don't even know.
What?
I don't even know. Like it looks like their focus went completely left field, and in the sense of like the content they wanted to keep the parents involved in the cartoon watching, and I'm like, no, that's not what you do. You just keep the kids watching the cartoons and
Exactly.
keep them sensible.
Some
Because
life
so
lessons.
one channel or one cartoon that now I appreciate because it goes back to like my old school is Phineas and Ferb.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can say Phineas and Ferb is a bad cartoon. Like I watched that from beginning to end, and the way they ended it, I about cried, and I'm an adult when it came out. it kind of broke my heart a little bit, but at the same time, I was like, man, what a way to end a cartoon.
Someone
right?
did it right.
Right, and so all the movies fall right in line with the cartoon, and I'm just like, man, that was a good cartoon, well-rounded cartoon. Outside of that, there isn't one cartoon outside of that I can say, oh yeah, I'm good with that. Now my kids have their brands of cartoons, right? The PJ Masks and things like that. I'm like, okay,
That's cool.
Yeah,
But
it's cool.
honestly, you don't know what you watching.
And so the good thing about PJ Masks is they have a storyline. Like they have a very story arc, right? Where they actually get better and better and I think they're in the third season. They upgrade and they get more powerful and things like this. But that's where it ends. It's like, oh yeah, we upgraded them. They were able to do this for a whole season, and now we don't have any more PJ Masks.
Right.
It's like, okay, all right, great. But yeah,
Back in our day, it was a whole movie.
you had movies to go with it. You had everything, and
Crossover episodes.
Mhm.
All types of stuff.
Fire.
oh yes,
Jimmy Neutron.
oh yes.
Timmy Turner.
Yeah, when
Oh,
Jimmy Neutron
oh my
met Timmy Turner,
gosh.
yo, that was a joke.
Yo.
Oh man, that's too funny. Oh
You
man,
have all these memories of all these great shows.
right. And then you look at today and you're like,
Like, what are you watching?
right?
What is this?
Why is this trash on my TV again? Like,
Yeah.
How do we go back and watch that? Because I'm curious. Like, does anyone know? Like,
They have some stuff on like Netflix and Hulu, like Doug's on Hulu.
Mhm.
All the Nick shows are on Hulu. But that's about it. They don't show them on TV
Yeah.
I mean,
anymore.
Animaniacs is out. That one's
rebooted.
Hulu.
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Okay.
So they
Yeah.
rebooted it. They actually have some new episodes of Animaniacs on Hulu now. So I'm like, oh, so we got the old school Animaniacs and the animation looks very similar to the old school. So I'm like, okay, let me go see what the storylines are. I haven't ventured out to do it yet. I'm like, let me wait and see what some of the other people say about it, right? Before I mess up my childhood
Right.
and go back to another rebooted disaster.
Yeah.
I'll check it out and let you know.
Okay, good. I appreciate that. I
If
appreciate
you
that.
really, really, really want to be confused, yo, sit next to a toddler and let them watch YouTube. The stuff they
Bruh.
watch, bro, you
Y'all
will be
seen
thrown
Aaron.
through a loop.
Y'all have played Xbox with Aaron. With just the
Bro.
foolishness that he says.
Bro.
It's just that the generation. It's like
There's a gap.
Yeah, it's a gap.
Yeah, I just be like, it's like when he be talking, I just be like, what did you just say? Like, I'm not that old.
Oh
Like, I
man.
didn't used to watch this. They didn't used to do this when I was watching
Mhm.
these things. Like, why is this interesting to you?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And like they only used to show the shows that we used to watch like late at night, like
Yeah.
Nick at Night. You stay up till like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'd be cool because I'm an adult. Like I have my own schedule and all that stuff.
George Lopez
But
come on.
Joe- like, bruh.
You wake up at 3 in the morning,
That's what I'm
Dun, dun,
saying.
dun, dun.
But these
That
these
weird-
kids now, they can't stay up that late, and now I think they've kind of taken it off the air, so
Mhm.
they can't even watch it, and I can't even watch it. Like, y'all ruined everything for me, so I don't even
Right.
know how to go back and watch that.
Yeah, no. So I know Disney Plus, when it comes to Disney Plus, has been doing a lot of like they have a throwback section.
Like backwards
Like
compatible.
we went old school. Like I put Darkwing Duck on at
Oh,
my
wow.
house, and when I tell you, my kids sang Darkwing Duck's theme song for like 2 weeks straight. I got excited every time I heard it. I was like, Darkwing Duck,
Give this man a medal.
let's get dangerous. I was like, what? Go ahead, Benjamin. Go ahead.
Hey man, I think they're trying to like rotate everything to people with short attention spans. Like if
Mhm.
you see what they're doing, like Apple TV, like they have like so-called movies. It's like 25
I
minutes.
was about to say.
Mm.
And then Quibi, I think they're doing the same thing. Like they're trying to drop shows, it's like literally 6 minutes long. And I'm
Mhm.
like, yo, how can you fit anything in that? And it's
Right.
popular, which is sad, yo. Like,
Just the time that we're in, everything's fast.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah. So everything's just like short and to the point.
Get
and,
it
like,
now.
Yeah, like
You
like
don't
the
really-
Ghost series, yo. It's just like they chopped off the real one, made it super short
Mhm.
and nonsense.
Right.
Like they don't even be talking about nothing. They just be
Yeah, and so
wildin'.
Quibi is actually nobody wanted to buy them out. They went bankrupt, so Quibi
Yikes.
should be out and done soon rather than later, from what I was understanding. But yeah, we have gotten to a point where people aren't being creative anymore. Like, oh well, we don't want to mess up a good thing, but so why are you rebooting
Why-
it?
you-
Like,
Because
Exactly.
you just did.
right?
First off, you
And that's
just
the
did.
thing. Like, there are so many movies now that we're seeing where they're taking the same concept, they're adding it differently. Now, I will say the continuation of the Jurassic Park story, right? We went to Jurassic World. Somebody was like, "Oh, well, he messed it up, but I got a better idea about it." And I'm like, "Okay, we see it, and it's like, but it's the same kind of chaos. Y'all just
Right.
took it to a different area."
Y'all took it to a mansion?
Yeah, a mansion, right. You took it to a mansion. What? Like, what? You had a whole theme park, another theme park on it, and let's see, we introduced water animals now.
Exactly.
Great.
Like who in the world has a mansion that has dinosaur cages built into them? Who does that? Like, that don't make no sense.
And it's even more far-fetched now, right? Like, back then when you saw the original Jurassic Park, if you all can remember the original Jurassic Park, like, that seemed like, okay, that might actually be able to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you come up to like Jurassic World, and it's like, look, didn't y'all learn from the first three?
Right.
Like,
No.
we shouldn't be doing this. No. But they're trying to bring the franchises to new generations, and it's like, do you do a good job at it, or do you do it halfway and it's trash?
Mhm.
Jurassic World, I will give it to them. I was thoroughly entertained with Jurassic World.
Fire.
Maybe
Yeah,
we're
they
just
got me
old.
at
Though.
that.
Maybe
I don't
we're just
know.
old.
And maybe it's actually good to the people that are coming up now.
I just feel like nah. Cause no. Because Jason's wearing a shirt that actually has a sitcom that lasted for a good while.
Mhm.
Friends.
Mm-hmm.
Now any show that has like those kind of seasons is only like 2 or 3 seasons.
Mm.
Like, I can't watch that and enjoy that and just be like, oh, that was a great way to end it. No, I want some more. Like, if it's good, I want some more.
Mhm.
Like, until it at least dies out. Grey's Anatomy been going on for, like he said, 45 seasons.
Yeah, but in my opinion, Grey's Anatomy is trash.
Trash.
But, you know,
I'm
that's
sorry.
that's my opinion.
I mean, like
but
I
it's
said,
been-
You have a lot of people in
I
the
never got
comments.
into it.
Right.
Y'all done milked the cow out of that show. Like, it's had its time. It's had its good moments. It does captivate you and just watch it. And I'll be like, why am I watching this? But at a point in time, it's just like, all right, that can go off peacefully. But all these shows now, it's like 2, 3 seasons. And it's because of money. I realized, I forgot who told me, but they said that some of the shows now, they only have it like 2 or 3 seasons because they don't want to, renew contracts for other, the actors and pay them. If it's a good show and your ratings are good and all that, who cares? Pay them. Like, make something good and historical. Why are you just waiting on the money and just making everything about money?
Mhm.
That shouldn't be like your first basis, like your first goal. Like, make something good, make something historical, make something that people wish that they can make. That's what I would enjoy and try to improve upon or create. Like, Avatar, really? You going some Ong, like, bro.
I'm really mad about Avatar.
I am mad, bro. When I heard
He's not
that,
alone. He's not
I
alone.
was like, okay, get out.
M.
No.
Night Shyamalan, you did us wrong. I'm just saying. Yes,
Dirty.
Yes, I threw that out there. I threw
Dirty.
that out there.
I'm still hurt to this day. I just like.
Dirty.
So when you heard that movie was dropping, everybody was excited.
Let's go. Let's go.
And son, they did it. When she bended that water across the street, I was like,
Like, what you doing?
oh, yeah.
No, so the thing that got me is when I saw Appa the first time.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, what is this? Like, they show, and the CGI was so bad throughout the movie. I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. There has to be more to this.
Something.
I mean, I
There
feel
wasn't.
like, at this point, it's either a show is so good that it just has a legacy that nobody wants to touch. Then there's a show that's really good that everybody wants to mess with and try to reboot.
Mhm.
And then I'm like, bro, you messing it up. You making it worse.
And
So I'm
that-
like, bro, I'm tired of rebooting. Yo, can we just go to a phase where we start making a bunch of new stuff and start a new trend?
right.
Because, yo, how y'all make Mulan without Mushu?
Thank you. Then to his
Bruh.
point, right there, if there's something that does not line up with the previous ones, it should be deleted.
Yeah, no.
Get it off.
So you better not call that Mulan, but you better
Delete
call
it.
that not Mu, because that joint's wrong.
Get rid of it.
Bro,
Do not
Mushu-
compare it.
So
That's too
Mushu-
funny. That's
yo,
too
he
funny.
was- Yo, he was a good 40% of the movie. yo.
He was.
That was, bro. Eddie Murphy?
Yep.
Come on now.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure he would have been happy to make that movie, bro. He would have came
Exactly.
back and was like, yeah, I got y'all, but
Yeah, y'all got to pay me.
Josh,
Pay
but-
me. But, and so, on the other hand, on that same note, when they reboot, they try to make so many different changes to it to captivate audiences. But if you grew up with the originals, it's like, I'm sorry. Like Mulan didn't even have the captain that she fell so head over
No.
heels in. And I'm like, no, he was so pivotal in it. Like, that whole revealing scene of, oh, like, you saved my life. Here's your life back,
Did
right?
you do that woman's empowerment? Like she did it all on her
Right.
own.
And that's fine. Like, I'm all for the woman empowerment.
Just
Make
call
sure
it a
that,
different movie.
that's what I'm saying. Or at least, I'm not. Some guys want that too. Some guys want a love story. Like, some guys want to see, the originals be original.
Mhm.
Like, I would love to have seen Aladdin go the way that it did in the older days.
Mhm.
Like, I want to see the scene where he was with the horse and he battled back and then he was gonna be like called Satan and then he was like, oh, Satan, or not Satan, what's the Sultan? He's gonna be called Sultan and he was like, oh, Sultan, hold on. Like, I don't think I can do this. Like, I wanted to see that.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not saying that Jasmine couldn't be called like the hierarchy or whatever,
Mhm.
but like, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with women power. I will never say girl power is not not welcome, and that wasn't the focus of them old. So this is why they have an opportunity of introducing new princesses, if you will. Like, why reboot something when you have an opportunity now to
Make it
build a
better.
movie, build a new character around something that you can really do something with? But there are also so many different motives in the industries now. So it makes it really hard to enjoy something that is truly original,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody's like, oh, we want to get back to that nostalgia, but we want to throw a twist in it, so you have to accept something else that we're trying to push.
I mean, I feel like that one show, like no movie, but Princess and the Frog, that one's mad underrated. Like,
Oh,
it should get so much more props than it did. Like, black female doing her own thing, getting her dreams. It shows a lot for being a black female and then being black also. So I
Mhm.
mean,
it should get a live action too.
it really should, because it was
It was good.
It was good. Yo.
It was well done.
It's not hard to do a frog. Oh, come on now.
Nope.
One of the easiest, things to CGI or even have. It's real life. Like, come on
Mhm.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just pick up a frog and put it there and they'll jump. Like it's easy.
Thank you. Thank
Put it
you.
there.
Someone
Bam,
kiss a
bam.
frog.
Now throw some moving lips on it. Bam.
Exactly.
Hey.
It ain't that hard. But to me, I feel like Aladdin was good. Having Will Smith was good. but there was a lot of scenes that I feel like were emotionally moving to me, or that struggle, that character, evolution that I didn't get, that I felt like should have been in there. Like especially the scene where Aladdin and Abu were in one of the pillars, and Jafar just whoosh, and then put it like into like a snowy mountain. I missed that. Like that's the moment where Aladdin was like, "Oh, Abu, I'm so sorry. Like I shouldn't have been mean to you." And then the carpet, and they go back off. Like where was that? Like that's some stuff that people need to see nowadays, not just some. Okay, here we go. Let's do it. Like there's some value in that they sometimes don't captivate. So it's like, bruh.
Yeah, no.
Get it together.
That's what I'm saying.
Be original.
You just got to do better.
Basically, I need y'all to do better. Hollywood, do better.
Jason got me tight.
You know what got me tight? Avatar.
We got to move on. We're moving on.
Man, you know what?
How do you say his name?
Huh?
How do you say his name?
M. Night Shyamalan?
M. Night, whatever. You fired.
Oh man, look, I think we might have to do a second part of this one because
I don't know if I
people
can
are
do
still fired up.
2.5. Like we still going. I still got energy. Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. All right, so look, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it and we're gonna do a second part because people are still fired up on Avatar. M. Night Shyamalan, we're blaming you. This is why we have to do a part. So look, make sure that y'all tune in to the second part of this. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you do all of those good things to bring us back and back into your lives every Wednesday. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Amped Up, as well. And remember, stay amped up. All right, we'll catch y'all soon.
We out.
Oh my